I've become very interested in Streptocarpus, and I thought it's time to try some from seed. So I obtained some seeds, and in this video I'm going to show you how to plant the seeds and get them off to a good start. Now Streptocarpus seeds are very tiny, so I start these differently than most of my seeds. And for most seed I use the baggie method, and I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. But Streptocarpus are more like primula seed. It's extremely fine, so I've modified the method and I start them directly in pots. Here's some of the seeds I'm going to plant today. The one is called Wow. This is a really nice plant. Black Panther is almost pure black. Of course, black flowers don't exist, but it's a very, very dark purple. And then there's Stonewashed. All of these are self-pollinated, so we should get some seedlings that look like the parents, but I'm hoping that we'll also get some variation. That's the exciting thing about growing plants from seeds. You just never know what you're getting, especially when you grow seeds from highly hybridized plants like Streptocarpus. I can get all kinds of really interesting things out of these. For starting small seeds, I use standard pots. This is maybe a 3-inch pot, and the media I use is Pro-Mix. I don't try to get fancy and mix my own kind of media. I just use straight Pro-Mix. It's mostly peat moss. You can see a little perlite in here, but there's very little of that. I think because perlite's expensive and peat moss is relatively cheap. So let me bring you in close and I'll show you exactly what I do with these seeds. I filled the pot with my media, and it's pretty coarse and fairly light. My concern with small seeds is that they will fall too deep into the cracks, and when the seed germinates, they won't get any light, so they won't grow properly. So I want to create a seed bed here that's a lot smoother and has smaller crevices. So what I do is take another pot and just press it down on top of this one. There, that's perfect for small seeds. Now let me show you the seeds. See how small they are. They come in a little package, but this package is only to hold the smaller seed package. The seeds are inside this folded piece of paper. So very carefully open the paper. And I do that right above the pot. If I'm a little sloppy and some seeds fall out, well, at least I capture them in here. Those are the seeds there. The easiest way to get them onto your pot is to hold the paper, and there's a slight groove here, and the seeds will roll down this groove. And to help them along, I just tap my finger a little bit. And as I'm doing that, I move it around the surface, so I get an even distribution. And don't forget to label these. Once these germinate, you won't be able to tell one strep from the other. The seedlings will all look the same until they flower. Now you can give this a little tap. That just settles the seed down. But I don't touch the surface after this because the seeds are so small. If you do that, you can remove the seeds. All right, that was pretty simple. Now, even though these seeds are so tiny, don't be afraid of these. When I first started these small seeds, I thought, wow, there's no hope of ever getting plants out of these. But what I find is these seeds germinate quite easily, and you'll always get some plants. Give them a try. Now the next step in this process is to water the pots. But we don't want to pour water on top. That's going to disturb the surface, and it's going to wash these small seeds too far into the soil. So I water from the bottom. And I just set this in some kind of container with about an inch of water, and I'll let it sit there until I see the whole surface is very good and wet. Take it out of the water, and then you want to put it into some kind of container that keeps moisture in here. If you're only doing one of these large baggies work great. Just put the pot in, close it up, and set it somewhere, and wait for the germination to take place. I'm going to do about 6 different pots here, so I like to use a container like this. Cheap plastic, put a lid on, close it up, and then set it somewhere for germination. These seeds should germinate in 2 to 6 weeks. Maybe it'll take a couple months. That's okay. Don't worry about it if it takes a little longer. One thing I found with primrose seed, which is very similar to Streptocarpus, it does take a bit of while for the germination to happen, but I've had 100% success rate, so give it a little patience. I grow my streps in the basement where it's a bit cooler, and I could germinate the seeds there, but they will take a little longer. So what I'm going to do with these is take them upstairs in the main part of my house where it's a little bit warmer. That will speed up the germination. Now I'm going to keep an eye on those, and as soon as I see some green tips, they go downstairs under the lights. So look at them every couple days and get them exposed to light as soon as they start to germinate. And the seeds will germinate over several days and even a couple weeks, but when the first ones show, get them under lights. At that point, you can take the top off of your container or open the bag up. I like to do this over a couple days. That way they get used to the humidity of your house. Remember, inside this bag is 100% humidity. And now we want to slowly condition them to whatever you have in the house. So I'll open this the first day, a little bit. And then 2 days later, I'll open it some more. A couple days later, I'll peel back the top. And then by the end of the week, they can come out of here. Now, if you want to know more about growing streps, I'll put a link to that video in the top right-hand corner. And if you want to learn more about growing things from seed, and I've grown about 2,000 different varieties of plants from seed, I'll put a link to that playlist at the bottom right-hand corner. It's time to get a hold of your own strep seeds and have some fun. See you in the next video.